say that women are too emotional to be leaders.
Then justify catcalling by saying men just can't control themselves.
It used to be a time that fairy tales were true. The king and the queen and all the pills were blue. But then the pill changed, the red pill's the truth. Forget the married life, I got better things to do. Stack money, travel the world. When you're getting it like that, you can pick out a girl. When you chase your own dreams, you can become a swirl. As many as you want, straight hair or curl.
Welcome back to the Anthony Spade channel. Before we get started, I want you to do me a big favor and go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and go ahead and hit that notifications button so we can continue to grow on the road to 200K. Next, I will not be talking about all women, even though it feels like it. And if you haven't subscribed to my second channel, Who is Anthony Spade? The link is in the description. All right, today I'm going to be reacting to a video called 36 Questions Women Have for Men. Now, I'm not going to answer all the questions, but I'm going to answer a good bit of the questions here, all right? I haven't really watched the entire video, but we're going to go through it and see what we can come up with. This is something new for my channel. Somebody sent me this, and we're going to give it a shot. With no further ado, let's get to it.
Why do you hate rom-coms? Or do you just feel like you need to hate them?
Everybody likes The Notebook. Everybody likes Beyonce. It's just a fact.
Why do you make women sit around and talk about men in movies?
When y'all easily just sit around and talk about boobs for hours.
Why do you automatically assume?
Right, I get that. So she says, why do we talk about other guys when we're watching movies, when we talk about what a woman looks whenever we're talking amongst guys? Well, you have guy code and then you have women code. Guys act a certain way when they're around guys, the same way women act a certain way when they're around women. The thing is, though, I grew up around a lot of women, and I can tell you, women talk more dirt on men when there's a group of women than anything in the world. Men don't sit up and discuss women all day. All right, men discuss things that are actually going on. They talk about cars. They may talk about women, but they're going to talk mainly about money. Only beta males sit around talking about women, and they're typically complaining.
Assume that you won't like TV or movies that star a female lead.
Why are you surprised when women are funny?
I'm probably funnier than you.
Why do you think that we're obsessed with you when we hook up?
9 times out of 10, I just want you to leave too. I'm busy. I got shit to do.
Why can't I sleep with as many people as I want to without being judged?
All right. That's one that needs to be answered. Why? Because a woman's body takes sex differently than a man. A man can have sex with 99 women and still put his heart into one. The more sex that a woman has with different men, the less she's able to parabond, which means that she would be unable to spiritually connect with a man in order to marry and have a relationship. That's what's happening in society. Women are running around doing a lot of sleeping around. Everybody has become good porn stars. And if they're not porn stars, then they found a way to please themselves really good. The world is revolving around sex, period. That's just what's happening. But when it comes to a woman, things are different than men. The more sex that you have with a man, the more lonelier you're going to be for the rest of your life. Or you can wait till you're 45 years old and then you're fat and sloppy and you go down to your local church and you find the stragglers that are sitting around.
When men do it, they're congratulated.
Why do you consider a woman a tease if she doesn't sleep with you after 3 dates, but a slut if she sleeps with you on the first date?
And
well, there's a difference between being a tease and being a slut. Men typically call a woman a tease whenever a woman is constantly flirting with him. A man is not going to cause a woman a tease who's just having friendly conversation and he's trying to figure her out, but she's placed him in the friend zone. A man is only going to call a woman a tease when she's leading him on as if there's something sexual there. Now, I know in a lot of cases, women get confused about a lot of guys that they have thinking that they have guy friends. You don't have guy friends. It sucks when a man realizes that his girlfriends that he would never be able to date them because they're never going to like him back. When a woman has a guy friend, she's hoping that he gets the drift, not understanding that secretly he really likes you. Men and women cannot be friends unless the man's gay. But when it comes to a tease, a man is only going to call a woman a tease after she has already taunted him with her sexuality. Now, when it gets to the part where she says, how come you sleep with a woman on the first date, it's considered a slut, because 9 times out of 10, if he sleeps with a woman on the first date, he's met her at the club, they've already did the hookup thing, and she's drunk, and she's already showing signs that she's for the streets. You don't have too many good girls that are sleeping with guys on the first date, and you're not gonna have too many women who sleep with guys on the first date that actually end up with a man in the long run. Most of those girls who start sleeping with guys on the first date, they end up in bars when they get older, smoking cigarettes and hanging out with their friends, thinking they somebody around drunk men.
What world does no mean yes?
No means no.
Why do you say that women are too emotional to be leaders?
Then justify catcalling by saying men just can't control themselves.
All right. When it comes to a man and a woman being a leader, once a man takes on the role of a leader, he leaves his emotions out of it and he thinks only logically and he becomes emotionless. When a woman is a leader, she does not know how to cut off her emotions. She doesn't know how to actually use logic. A woman's logic is always emotional based, which means that when it comes to being led, whenever things get wrong or whenever things start going left, a woman isn't gonna come up with a quick solution. She doesn't have a quick rebuttal. She's not good at plan A's, plan B's, and plan C's like a man will. When things start to go wrong with her initial plan, then she will victimize herself and she will come up with a reason why her plan isn't working, but it's not her fault. When it boils down to leadership, men take accountability more than women. Women just make up an excuse why their plan did not go right.
Why do you think that just because you're nice to me, I owe you my body?
Why would you ever send an unsolicited dick pic?
Well, this is what women have to say about that. Look at where you're at getting the dick pic. Look at where you're at. You're on social media. I keep trying to tell people the only way your life is miserable is if you actually take online life seriously. Like this life that you're looking at right now, you shouldn't take it that serious because online anybody can be who they want to be. So if you put yourself in a position that you know creeps are going to send you pictures, you cannot complain about that. You can't. That's just like if a guy dates a woman who told him, hey, you know I'm a porn star, and then he starts getting jealous that she's sleeping with other men. It's kind of like, hey, you can't do that. You cannot try to change people. People are who they are. If you're mad that guys are sending you these dick pics and guys are sending you creepy pics, look at where you're at getting them.
Why do you feel like it's okay to harass women or make offensive comments about women, but when somebody does it to your sister, it's not okay?
How does it feel?
Well, you have to understand, once again, it boils down to the situations that you're at and where exactly are you at. When you get in a club atmosphere, you're going to expect that. You get on the beach, you're going to expect that. You're walking around with a bikini on showing your body, you're going to expect that. Why? Because a lot of guys do not have control over their desires. And women know this. Women, you know this. This is why you have so many good girls now that are doing anything for attention sexually because they feel like that's where the value is at. If a man is not looking at a woman as a sexual object, she feels ugly. But you only see ugly women talking about being objectified. You don't see pretty women saying, stop looking at me like a piece of meat. You see ugly women that guys don't want saying that.
To interrupt me when I'm in the middle of making a point during a meeting.
Why do you have to sit with your legs so wide open?
I get that you have balls, but I don't stand around with my arms wide open to make room for my boobs.
Why are women perceived as the weaker sex, even though we literally birth you?
I agree. But when it comes to the weaker sex, we're talking about muscle tone. But we are also talking about emotionally. Now, a woman's body is designed to give birth and her skin is designed to stretch and do it. You're strong in that aspect. Because a man cannot squeeze a baby out of his dick. And if he could, yes, it would hurt. It would probably hurt worse than a woman squeezing a baby out of her body. You're strong in that aspect. You're strong on the nervous system. You're stronger on the emotional side. But when it comes to the physical side, women have to take these growth hormones in order for them to have the muscle mass of a man. If women were not taking these growth hormones that you're seeing in bodybuilding women and these Amazonic women, then women would still be frail. It's not natural for a woman to be stronger than a man. It takes some type of substance to get that going.
Like watermelons through like this.
Why is it so bad to show your emotions?
It means you're human.
Why are you always trying to prove your masculinity?
All right. Why do guys try to prove their masculinity? It's simple. A man don't want to be looked at as a weak man. Why? Women run over weak dudes. See, this part of life is what got everybody shooken up. These people that you see asking these questions, these are the people that are the bots behind the scenes that have their own personal agendas. That's exactly what you're saying. Men, you want your masculinity. Why? Because when you play this punk role, like what they're telling you to play, then guess what? You may be able to date them, but they're going to cheat on you with someone that is that masculinity that they want. Time after time, we're seeing this. We're seeing women talk like this, but we're also seeing who they actually go for.
Why the isn't it ladylike to cuss? When did words get gendered?
Why is it your first instinct to doubt women who have been sexually violated or raped?
Why do you assume?
Well, let's just be honest. You have a lot of women now that are lying about it just to get attention. Far as the women that have been that, yes, I feel sorry for that. I don't think a man should do that at all. But we do have a lot of cases now in the world where the Me Too movement has ruined it for a lot of women. A lot of women are faking the funk, even though a lot of real cases are coming out. That's why everything is 50-50. Men are going to doubt it. Women are going to say believe it. But women relate to each other emotionally. Men relate to each other logically.
Assume a woman's angry because she's on her period.
Why do you think women that wear makeup are false advertising? We can say the same thing about your dick size. Why isn't it weird that there's a bunch of old white men sitting in a room making legislation about what I can and can't do with my body?
Actually, it's not you. It's a whole bunch of women that are letting you know what you can and cannot do with your body. The men are just going along with it. See, what women are not understanding is that you're going to make some decisions when you're younger that you think are going to make you powerful, that's going to make you free. You know what I'm saying? It's going to allow you to live your best life. And then you're going to turn 30 years old and you're going to want to click it. You're going to want to say, hey, now I want to get married. Now I want to have kids. But a man gets wiser as he gets older about women. So now the average man's going to be able to look at you at the age 30 and says, this is a woman right here, just based off the way she looks and carries herself. She's been around the block. She's for the streets. This is why you don't want to run around and have sex with anybody and be liberated, because it tarnishes who you are. And all you try to do is cover it up with makeup, but men learn to read it.
Do you have a coochie?
Why are straight guys so obsessed with lesbians?
How does it feel to get kicked in the balls?
Do you ever get tired of trying to be manly all the time? Why are you so afraid of gender equality?
Why?
Men are not afraid of gender equality. Men are afraid of you trying to go outside of your room. In other words, when women go and do man things, they're not as successful as a man doing women things. When men go to do women things, especially in sports, we annihilate the women. See, you want equality, but everything's not equal. You're not about to rip out a transmission engine. You're not about to change your brakes. You're not about to change your tires. You're not about to build infrastructure. You're not going to hang from a skyscraper hooking up metal and building buildings up. You're not going to do these things. You only want it to be equal whenever it comes to something you want to do. But in the world, you take away men right now, the world would just destruct.
Why do I deserve to be paid less than you?
In what world does 77 cents equal a dollar?
In what world does 68 cents equal a dollar?
How is that fair?
Why are you intimidated by a woman who makes more money than you? That's awesome.
Men are not intimidated by women who makes more money than them. Men get sick of the ego that women have when they do make more money than a man, or how they actually treat a man. You only have a very small percentage of women that make more money than a man and hides it and humbles herself. A confident woman with money is way worse than a confident man with money.
Awesome. More money.
Why are opinionated women seen as bitches?
When opinionated men are seen as bosses.
Why aren't you speaking up when you hear your male friends behind closed doors make jokes that are offensive to women?
Why are you
Because most guys are going to do that the same way women are going to do it too. You guys, women, you want all the guys to be gay. If you stop and look around, we're there. You're there. All the things that women want. Why are guys like this? You have the perfect guys in the world right now. Majority of these men are straight up blue-pilled men. And you're still what? You're complaining. Where are all the good guys at? Why? Because you don't want to marry a gay guy. Now you're seeking masculinity. I need a masculine man to be with, but I want him to act like a gay guy because I can control him. It doesn't work that way. That's the problem.
Are you so afraid of recognizing your own privilege? Doesn't mean you're a bad person. Just recognize it and do something about it.
All right. Moral of the story here, ladies and gents. Majority of the women that you seen, matter of fact, all the women that you just seen in the video are typical women that you're going to find on TikTok and behind the scenes that men don't want. Why? Because these are the type of women that fall for the agendas. These are what you call regular women that feel like they have something to say or prove. When it comes down to the come down, these are the type of women that need to be humble. Why do you need to be humble? Because a man cares more about your looks than anything. That's the only thing he's going to value a woman on. A sexy woman could be dumb as hell and get way farther than a ugly woman who's highly educated. Remember, guys, if she ain't holding you down, she's slowing you down. Hasta la vista.